Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland.
Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles
and the Washington Commanders.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3.
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Throwing is Hurts. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And it's intercepted. And some room to work. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Faking the handoff, Howell.
This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. They'll go play action. Howell.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Sly able to put this one through, and it's 3-0 Washington.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the first time out, they had the interception. That stopped their drive 3 points the other way, so now they work from behind.
They do, but he's got to walk out on the field like he's working from ahead. All right, he's got to walk out like, hey, I just threw a touchdown pass because all eyes on his team are on him. They gain their confidence from the way he reacts, his demeanor, and how he plays. He's got to show that he has confidence in himself.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
And going to Brooks is a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Powell's throw complete to Dotson.
So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Powell trying to pick it up on 3rd. Able to find Isabella. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22.
I certainly felt for Sam Howell watching him fall from a possible 1st-round pick at one point all the way to day 3 of the draft, but it's just extra fuel for a guy now who drew.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year,
as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead grows to 10-0.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 36, Hurts. Connecting quickly with Goddard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a 2nd straight play right at the line of scrimmage. They end up getting stuck twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. On 1st down, Howell. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a 1st. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. He seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. Hurts throw here, take it in as he's able to find Goddard. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it inside the 10. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run with Sanders. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
The sneak, it's Hurts, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Eagles get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott good with a PAT, and this is back to an 8-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with an 8-point lead, probably not too much of an impetus to try and do too much here. Thomas brings it in. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
First down, Howell to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Takes it at the 7. And able to get this out to the 25.
Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And Thomas has it. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Logan Thomas was an interesting name to watch coming into 2021, but injuries limited him to just 6 games. If he can stay on the field, Washington really likes what he can do coming off of his breakout in 2020. There's a first down catch right there.
Powell throwing on first down here.
And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
On second down, a run with Gibson.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
From the gun on third down, Howell.
And he finds McLaurin. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That third down conversion good for 23.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Back to the ground with Gibson.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Gibson here running out of the gun. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Howell, 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Sly able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Hurts rolling to his left. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yard.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it. And the Commanders will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Howell's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing here, Howell. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
2nd down and goal. Powell. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Commanders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game.
Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too.
They'll run with Gibson. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
On 2nd and goal, Powell. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted.
He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now it looks like he'll throw here. That is incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Faking the handoff, Howell.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And he completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
42 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. On 1st down, right back to Gibson.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
So a victory here for the Commanders.
It was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Commanders,
they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against